Hi, I'm MC Landel.
And I'm Ellie Rep. We're your hosts for the next 15 minutes of Blue Jay Journal TV.
Here's what's coming up in this episode. We will take a look at the challenges private school students face once they arrive to Washington High School.
We are going outdoors for some insight on trapping.
And just how technology savvy are teens? We are going to look at that topic.
Those three stories and much more are coming your way.
Blue Jay Journal TV starts right now.
Making the jump from a private school to a public school is a challenge many students face each year at Washington High School. What is that experience like? Natasha Fender has the details in our top story.
You know nobody, and it's like all of a sudden you're just thrown into this mix of people and you have to make friends.
Carly Revis is speaking of something approximately 50 students face yearly here at Washington High School: the transition from a private to a public school.
You took that one, right? Yeah.
I went to St. John the Baptist in Villa Ridge. I didn't like it at first because it was really, really big, and that was kind of hard coming from a school with 160 or 170 kids.
I went to St. Vincent's. Only 3 people from our school came here.
It was scary at first because it was just going from 100 kids to 1,000 kids.
It's not just the size difference that makes switching from private to public school difficult. It's the fact that these students have to learn how to play by a whole new set of rules. And many of those rules are very loose compared to where they were before.
Teachers are a lot more lenient here. They will accept late work, and they'll either give you full credit or take 10% off. And at Emmanuel, you got so much credit taken off, and you had to have your parents sign a paper, and it was a huge ordeal there.
I guess the biggest negative shocker to me was clothing choices.
I felt like private school, everyone was more respectful than some of the kids here are.
Just going from private school to a public school, it was you guys don't get ashes, you guys don't go to church every Sunday, and that kind of thing was really different.
Jessie's initial shock that many of her peers at Washington High School did not attend church eventually wore off. But the fact that some of the students are totally against God still doesn't sit well with her. On the day of her interview, Jessie's faith was put to the test, just because she simply participated in Ash Wednesday.
I was going into second hour, through passing period, and somebody told me that if I didn't wipe my ashes off my face, that their fist would do it for me.
Yes, Jessie's incident put her faith to the test, but despite the challenges they face, she and other students do not let those moments interfere with their education.
After they come, they do really well because they've got a great work ethic.
I had a really good experience. I've made a lot of new friends, met a lot of new people, a lot more people than I actually thought I would.
The transition from a private to a public school can be difficult to navigate, but considering that year after year, many of our top 10 graduating seniors come from a private school background, it would seem that private school students who transfer not only adapt, they thrive in their new surroundings. For Blue Jay Journal TV, this is Natasha Fender reporting.
Follow with him.
5K fun runs seem to be all the craze, and Washington High School students are jumping right into the race. Morgan Engel has the story.
A 5K craze is running through Washington High School.
We've done the reindeer run, the color run, and we're doing the color run in April as well.
Yeah, we both did them.
We ran the zombie run.
I've run one for saving the Labby Bottoms, I've run the color run, and then one the Tough Mudder.
8 years old, I started the fair run, and I've been doing it every year since then, and I've done it for 8 years consecutively.
For these students, they're not running for a trophy or medal. They're running to have fun.
It was so much fun. Yeah, it's you have to experience it in life, because we always just oh my God, we can't wait to do it. And then after you did it, it's just It's so
and then
awesome
once
to
you're there,
say
you're
you
just
did
like
it.
totally
Yeah.
into it. We didn't even think about the running part. We
No,
just did
it was just you just run. You're just having so much fun with everybody around you, like supporting you.
I think it's a good way to get in shape and really has fun. It's fun.
I decided to do like the Labadee Bottoms one just because I live in Labadee, and then the color runs just always looked really cool, and so me and some friends got together and did it.
Little 5Ks, they're fun and they each have their own little theme. They're not as competitive, they're more on the fun run side because they're fun runs.
Not only are themed 5K runs enjoyable, they make memories for the participants.
Like if you looked around, just everybody has a smile on their face. So you're so happy, and it's like the happiest 5K in the world.
I don't think you couldn't be happy then.
You have to be happy going there. You're always happy.
For Blue Jay Journal, I'm Morgan Engel reporting.
Coach Grant Young isn't just the new coach here at Washington High School. There's a lot more to his life story, as Olivia Omer found out when she sat down with him recently.
You've seen him on the sidelines at the boys' basketball games and teaching in the health room. Grant Young is the newest addition to our Blue Jay family, and he has had quite the journey getting here.
Because what happens when you say camp? I graduated from Union High School, of course, across the way, 15 minutes away from here. Wanted to go into sports medicine in college, decided not to go into sports medicine, and decided, coaching was what I really wanted to do and always wanted to do, and my parents kind of pushed me to do that. So I went with my love, went with my passion.
His dreams of becoming a coach led him outside of Franklin County.
As a young coach, I started out in a small school and wanted to work my way up to be, at a larger school, maybe have the opportunity to coach in college someday. And that led us to the Joplin area where we lived, me and my family lived for 5 years.
On May 22nd, 2011, an EF5 tornado swept through Joplin, Missouri, and Coach Grant Young found himself at the heart of the storm.
We were going to a friend's house where we got right in the direct path of the tornado, where we were hit actually while my family was in the vehicle. And of course, the tornado being rain wrapped, we could not see the tornado, and we didn't understand the scope and how large the tornado was. Luckily, God helping us, we escaped that.
After they escaped the path of the tornado, Coach Young dropped his family off and went back to see what he could do to help.
In all, after the night progressed, carried 3 dead bodies out and helped extract 6 people around the Massachusetts and 15th Street area. Being a first responder on the scene, there's smells and there's sounds and there's things that you will always remember, always relive, and always remember from that day that you'll bring yourself back to. In the middle of the night, I'll wake up and have sometimes a dream of those things, of what had occurred. But the great thing is it's kind of shaped me to who I am and how I teach. I walk out and call Fred in tears. I know some people say that, they can say, hey, you were a hero that day. And I try to tell people, no, anybody in my situation, in my shoes, would have done the same exact thing.
May 22nd, 2011, changed Joplin, Missouri forever. The tornado took the lives of 158 people and affected thousands of others, including that of Grant Young. For Blue Jay Journal TV, I'm Olivia Omer, reporting.
It was easy, so I figured I would try it once. I liked it, so I tried it again. It made me feel better, so I kept doing it. Now, I can't stop.
Prescription drugs are drugs. Stop before you start.
Washington High School students are familiar with sports such as football and basketball, but for some students here, trapping is their sport. We sat down with senior Dusty Gatzmeyer on 2 different occasions to get the details.
Well, I got into trapping by Brett Mueller.
I was about 15 years of age.
We had about 6 traps.
And we went over to the skating rink in Union.
And we set traps and we caught a little bit here and there.
Ever since Dusty was bit by the trapping bug, he's learned a few tips and tricks that he's sharing with us today.
Well, first thing you do when you catch a beaver, you throw it on back the truck and you run the rest of the traps.
And I'll go home and I'll hang them up, and if I catch them in the water, I'll let it dry.
and you don't want it to get frozen because then it's just a pain to skin. And I mean, you usually just start down at the teeth there and you cut down its back. Once I skin it, if it's dry, I'll take and roll it up in a ball and you throw it in the freezer.
Aside from being good fun, trapping can also have a financial benefit.
When the fur buyers come in town, you want to get them out and you want to comb them real good, make them look real nice. You don't like an ugly beaver. Tie them up in about 5 apiece on a string and then you bring them to the fur buyer and they'll buy them from you. This year is going a little rough, but last year I think I made probably about $500, and that wasn't bad at all.
But there is more to trapping than making money.
What happened, Dusty?
They got stuck. Ooh, favorite thing.
Probably bonding.
Definitely bonding. You and nature, it's just something about it.
If you are interested in trapping, try checking out the Missouri Conservation website at mdc.mo.gov. Here you can find lots of other tips to help you get out there.
No! Did you get that on video? Please?
For Blue Jay Journal TV, I am Caleb Kern, reporting.
Yes! Yes!
Just how tech-savvy are Washington High School students? It's a good question, considering many of our neighboring school districts are handing out iPads and Google Chromebooks to all their students. And we just got Wi-Fi installed this school year. As reporter Ellie Rep found out, the new Bring Your Own Device program is not necessarily something students are excited about. Here's the story.
Wi-Fi recently came to Washington High School. As teachers use more technology in the classroom, they are realizing that not all students are on the same level.
I don't know how to work a computer. Teachers are confused sometimes because we're always on our phones, but we're really just doing social media.
We will see students who are extremely tech savvy, who have had technology skills through all their grade school experience, and they're very interested and passionate about technology and they enjoy it. And then we also have students who do not have that experience and are a lot more hesitant about using technology and almost kind of fear it a little bit.
I have my freshmen and I have my seniors. I love them both equally, but some freshmen you can tell that they haven't had a lot of time with technology.
More teachers now use technology to post online assignments, and not all students find this fair.
For kids that have technology, they should do that because it makes it easier for them, but not everybody has technology, so they should have an alternate way to get the assignments out.
Sometimes I don't get to a computer and I can't drive anywhere because my mom's not home, so then I get a bad grade on it.
It's definitely fair, especially with all the snow days we've had. There are times when I want to have my kids read a chapter or do this assignment, and so they could go online and check that and then do it.
It's very difficult because we do have that equity issue. You want to make sure that all students have the opportunity and the chance to do those assignments. So we have to be very careful.
Online assignments may create problems, but there are solutions.
Being able to have 2 versions of everything, like a technology version and a written version.
A lot of students have different needs, and so we want to make sure that whatever we're doing, we can make sure that it fits those needs.
Using technology for educational purposes can be difficult, but many students have no trouble using social media.
Well, it's something that you guys want to do. I mean, students want to talk with friends rather than do their math or English homework.
It's not as complicated, or like they're not focusing on school, they're focusing on friends.
Those kind of programs are ones that students have interest in, so that's what they're going to spend their time to figure out.
Ann Losing has some advice for Washington High School students and teachers who are struggling with the changes.
There's a lot of things that we couldn't produce or do unless we had the technology, but it's kind of a balance, and we need to make sure that we don't do something using technology just because we can, because sometimes we just have to work hard and we have to struggle through it and not always just expect that it can be fed to us through a computer.
If you feel strongly about the use of technology at school, tweet us your opinion at Blue Jay Journal. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Ellie Rep reporting.
We want to thank you so much for watching our show. And remember, you can find us online at www.bluejayjournal.com.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Blue Jay Journal and like us on Facebook at Blue Jay Journal TV.
Until next time, I'm MC Landel.
And I'm Ellie Rep.
Have a great day, Washington!